Hello everyone, welcome to another card making video. I've got something fun to try today. I want to bring back the Operation Smile stamp set to use though, for our sentiment at least, because we've got there's lots of great sentiments in here that are really nice to receive just out of the blue, for no reason, just to let people know that you're thinking of them. And so I want to use that one. I also want to remind you about that this is our charity, and when you buy this stamp set, $7 goes towards Operation Smile. They provide life-saving operations for cleft lip and cleft palates in children in third world countries, and so it's a really good charity to go to. This stamp set is our Operation Smile stamp set for the year. It's $18.95, and like I said, $7 goes to the charity. You can also just make straight cash donations through the website if you'd like to do that as well. Or when you place an order, you can round up, and that, whatever you round up, that extra change will also go into the pot for Operation Smile. So really good way to give back. Okay, so I'm probably going to be using your every bit of wonderful as my sentiment here. But first, I want to, I already have my card panel set up on my all-purpose craft mat, and I did tape it down just with some painter's tape because I want to try, instead of inking on the stencil, I'm going to use my Versamark and emboss with whatever gets inked, essentially. And so I don't know if it'll work, but I don't want my stencil or anything to shift while I'm doing that. So I went ahead and taped it down. And so then I'll just, actually, what I need to do is using our anti-static pouch. I forgot to do that ahead of time, so I'm sure it'll still work now. And I think I'm getting another little tear in this bag, so I really need to probably get out a needle and thread and sew that back together. So I'm just going to get any excess powder out of my way. Actually, is really getting under that stencil. So, which tells me I should have done it first and then set up my stencil, but I think it'll work either way. So I'm just gonna take my Versamark and tap it down onto the stencil so that it gets into these parts, and I'm hoping it'll work so that then when we take the stencil off, we can put embossing powder over that and get our design back. So let me say hi. Hello, Mom. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Karen. I'm gonna just press it down and hope it gets into the grooves. I don't know if it will bleed underneath. It shouldn't, because it's just like ink, right? It should just go right on top. And that's why I'm putting it, instead of rubbing it, just up and down. Okay. I think hopefully that should be enough Versamark. I'm trying to look and see if there's any pieces of cardstock that aren't shiny. Because if they're shiny, that means it has the ink. Okay, and then I should be able to just take this off. I'm gonna put it, give it a good smush in there, because that looked a little bit not inked. And then again right here. Okay, and I think that may have smushed it. So I'm gonna take the stencil off and get the embossing powder on before anything else goes too much. So you can probably see that it worked out pretty well. I'm gonna take my little reverse tweezers to hold it because I don't want to stick my fingers in all of that. I'm just gonna cover the card. I don't know if this is gonna work, but it's not what I was expecting. Okay, well, we'll make it work somehow. Probably got other people that you can hear back there, not a problem. It's just my people. Okay, let's heat emboss that and see what we've got. Hi, Lily. So I'm thinking this is not working out the way I had hoped. But we'll finish it out, and if it doesn't look good, then we'll do something else. Or maybe we should just try a different stencil. I'm trying not to overheat anything, but there's little spots that didn't melt yet, so I'm going over everything. Okay, so obviously when I went over that part again and smushed it, it was too heavy. Well, experiment and learn. Let me wipe that embossing ink off. And see here. I need to get the embossing ink off of here as well. Oh no. Careful, careful, careful. from the back side. Now the front side, just to kind of get that powder, that ink off, so it doesn't make a sticky mess. See? Okay, okay. And this part trapped. I was just using it to take up any wetness from the chamois. So, okay. So now I can use my blenders. And let's see. I was hoping, I guess I was going to do Christmas colors, and then I decided to do a different sentiment, so don't really need to do that after all. So it's filling it in pretty well. It's giving us that reverse effect. But I don't think this was the design, the best design for this technique. Just clean that off. Yeah, it looks a bit too muddled to really make anything out of that. I mean, like, you can start to see, but I'm just not happy with that look. So, what else do we have? We do have these rays. That would be fun. Let's try that. It's Saturday night. What else are we gonna do? Okay, so let me get a piece of cardstock here. I'm trying to see, like, about how far out to make those rays. Okay, I think that'll work. I'm just gonna eyeball it. I'm not gonna lift and put it back down because I'm not gonna hit the same spots. But that should give us something. And the reason I'm using the black is because my background paper that I cut is black, and I want to use it with some silver foil. So I think this will work out better. Oh yeah, there we go. Because it's going to give us a subtle background design, a subtle resist. And it'll give us some more room to put in colors. And what did we not do? I didn't put the little anti-static pouch. So we have a little bit of extra powder on here that we don't want. Just taking a brush and trying to wipe off any of that excess. Okay. I'm gonna live with the little imperfections on it. Let's put this back in the jar. Because I think now what I'm going to do is, since I'm not making it a Christmas card, I'm going to pull out some other colors that I like. And we'll be able to blend that a lot better. Okay. Just letting it heat up. So I've kind of lost some of the powder because there wasn't very much ink down on the end of that line. I think it's going to give us a good distress look. Hey, Melissa. Just trying to get everything to melt. Okay. Okay, there we go. We've got some nice shiny lines. And now, instead of green, I don't want to use green. Okay, so I've got my red. And I want to use my chipped sapphire and my seedless preserves and my mustard seed, and kind of just do some random colors. So I'm just going to start some blending. And then go into the yellow. Kind of give us a rainbow effect. Just go ahead and put them back where they belong so they're out of the way. Blue and then purple, right? Come back in with the yellow and blend that in. And that'll give us our green without actually having to put a green in. I don't have one for my purple. Oh, let me see if I have a blender that I previously used. Soak that up, soak that in. Just rub that in and then come back in with the blue. Just blend, blend, blend. Awesome. I think I'm gonna get the yellow back out to put a little bit. I'm not gonna add anything else to it. I'm just gonna use what's on here to blend in a little bit smoother. There we go. Okay. Now, of course, we need to put all this away. I need to add a dot there so that we can keep our little sponge tip saved. Okay, now put all that away. And then with our Distress spray, we'll give it some water for some cool oxide effect. I'm just gonna let that water sit on there for a minute. Oh yeah, there we go. So I've got all that nice splatter. I'm liking this one a lot better. This is gonna give us something to work with. So I'm just gonna clean off my mat. And that we can keep working. Okay. So since we are doing, what are we doing? Embossing? Well, I don't think I need my mat for the rest of this. Okay. So I'm going to take this and let me just shoot it with some heat, dry it off. And of course, we're going to cut it down using our stitched rectangle. So, I think this is probably my most used die. Probably my favorite because it just gives me that nice clean edge that I'm looking for. I was rolling it back through twice because between my cutting plate and how much I use this die. Look at that. So pretty. It needs all the help it can get. Okay. So now, let's see what else we need to do. Okay. So here in just a second, we can start putting everything together. I think I just need to get my sentiment embossed. And for that, I've got a strip of black cardstock. Make sure to put the anti-static pouch. Let's see here. Got our Versamark and we've got our sentiment. So, need a block. It's ready to go. Just gonna stamp it down in the bottom corner so that I can trim it down. Because I think I want this sentiment to just be a little tight, tight wording. I don't think I need it to be, you know, like with a dovetail edge or anything like that. So I'm just using silver embossing powder because I do want to accent this card with silver. I've got some silver foil paper cut to make a little mat for that front card panel. I do have some silver stickles that I can even add after the fact, and that'll be cute. Instead of silver gems, although we could use gems. Easy enough. And I think I can trim it down probably with just some scissors. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. So now let's start assembling our card. See, that can just be popped up. And I cut out black cardstock for my card. We'll have to put a white panel in there as well. But I'm going to take just a little bit of black ink and touch up the sides. Because we do have a white core card, and so just want to cover up that white cardstock. Just rubbing the black ink pad along the sides, and it'll cover up that cardstock so that now you're not seeing the white just stand out. Okay, pretty good, pretty good. Okie doke. Oh, my hands are a mess. So now I'm going to just put this onto the silver foil. I'm just going to do that with straight adhesive because I'm going to put the foil part on foam tape to go on the front of that card. So it's pretty dramatic. should give us a sturdy base. I was really hoping that first mask would work out better. Iwahori Ikuko. I hope that's how you say your name. Hello, how are you, ma'am? I'm gonna have to go follow your page. I'd love to see what you're creating. And just set that there. And so that looks really good with that foam tape because it gives it that bit of pop. And then I'm gonna just do this on some foam tape as well. So it's gonna fit perfect. Let me just try and get that centered. Right to the edge. In fact, I even pulled out the silver thread so we can do our little thread trick that I see everybody do, and I love it. And whenever I've used it, I think it really helps just add a little bit of embellishment to the card. Now, getting it to stay without doing the old washi trick. I think just get it stuck to the back of that card. Then we can spread it out. Actually, that probably does help. I'm just gonna do it flush to the edge of the silver. And put that down. There we go. Now this does have a little, like a fold in it from being on the cardstock, but just run your nail along and it'll take it out. So it's pretty pliable. I'm gonna take my silver stickles. I'll just add a few beads here and there. There we go. I really like how the colors transition because even though we didn't use an orange, where the red and the yellow overlap, you get that orange. And then where we didn't use a green, but the blue and the yellow make the green. And then right here, the purple and the blue, and it gives that darker purple in there. So, let me add just another dot. I don't want to get carried away, so I better stop. I better put that away. But I think you can see that. And when they dry, of course, they'll be silver. But you can see where the color just fades into one another. Isn't that pretty cool? And then, of course, I love how the colors oxidize with the water. So it gives a really good texture. Of course, there's our embossing. Our little string here. And then our little silver sparkles Should come to life once they dry. We'll see them all shiny and silver. And I don't think that this light is giving you the effect that I want. But it looks really, really good. I think the embossed black just really pops. Everything. Super happy with this card. This was not going to get us here. So I really like this this pattern, but it is not for reverse stenciling or reverse, you know, the embossing instead of the inking. But this one worked out really well for us, so I'm glad I got it to work. And that's my card for tonight. Thanks you guys for coming in. I hope y'all have been having a great Thanksgiving holiday. We've got another live card session tomorrow night before we take a break for a few days, get back into the work week. So I will see you tomorrow night. Y'all have a good one. Until then, bye-bye.